right, so we're going to talk about angles with regards to the XY plane, okay? So we're always going to start here on the x-axis between the first and fourth quadrant. So quick review, this is quadrant number 1. Over here, this is quadrant number 2. Over here is quadrant number 3. And right over here is quadrant number 4. And this is important in trig. Well, we'll get to it when we get to it. But this first side here, we always call this the initial side. That's where we start measuring the angle, right? The angle is how far we swing around. Also, when we swing around this way, which is counterclockwise, that is a positive angle. When we swing around the other way, clockwise, that is a negative angle. Okay? Now, where the angle stops, so this would be the angle measure, theta. Where the angle stops is the terminal side. So the angle is said to be in the standard position if its initial side is along the positive x-axis and its vertex is at the origin. So that's the other thing too. The vertex, the corner right here, is always going to be here. So this is very important for trig. We're going to go and use this over and over and over again for the rest of the semester. Now, consequently, if I drop a line straight down, what does it form? A right triangle. Here's the thing. This is the radius of a circle, which is also what? It is also the hypotenuse. So there's that. It's also the hypotenuse. This value right here, and I'm really over teaching, this point right here has an x comma y value. The distance from here to here is the y value, which is the opposite. The distance from here to here is technically the x value. That is the adjacent. That's how trig falls into this whole thing. All right? So at some point in time, we're going to use our friend SOHCAHTOA. Now, what's nice on the recent test, as I was walking around, I saw people write SOHCAHTOA at the top of their paper. That's good. That's a nice little reminder, okay? Also, this is a lot of information that I throw at you guys. It's not a bad idea to use Quizlet, and maybe I'll put some Quizlet flashcards. You got to memorize some things, okay? But this is the main thing you got to memorize. So what does this have to do with our next section? Well, we're gonna work with angles, okay? Does everybody have this written down? All right. So let's move on to example number 1. So technically, this is example number 1. And what they'd like for us to do is they want us to kind of graph these angles. So what I want you to remember is that from here to here is 90 degrees. Each quadrant is 90 degrees. But A A is a negative angle. So I start here at 0, right? That's going to be my initial side. So I'm going to draw my little line here. It's really hard to do this with the tablet. I'm trying to draw a line thick enough so, well, let me try something different here. Let's try this. Oh, look at that. There you go. Now you can see it. So now what I'm going to do, if I go in the negative direction, this is 0. Negative means I'm going to go this way, right? And, well, how far do I go? Well, if this is 0, then this is negative 90 degrees, right? If I go another 90 degrees, this is negative 180 degrees, right? And if I go another 90 degrees, this is negative 270. Now, there's some parts to this that's kind of interesting. So from the origin, I'm going to draw my line, my perfect little line, up like this. And so my angle is this. This is my angle. Now this is kind of, I think we did this on the first section on 1.1. Okay. And then what is the initial side? Well, the initial side, this is my initial side, right? And this over here is the terminal side. And some of you might be thinking, well, isn't that the same as a positive 90-degree angle? Yes and no. Yes and no. If I am driving a car and I turn right, that's a 90-degree angle. But what if I make 3 lefts? Think about that in your head. You're still kind of facing the same way. But one is doing more work than the other. Okay? That's kind of how we have to look at this. So now let's do part B. So for part B, over here, again, I'm going to do the terminal side, right? I'm going to do my terminal side. And again, this is 0 degrees. So now if I rotate this way, this is a positive 90 degrees, but they're asking me to graph 135 degrees. So you guys haven't memorized this yet, but, whoops, Mr. Adams knows that 135 degrees is the same as 90 degrees plus 45. Consequently, 45 degrees is equal to 1/2 of 90 degrees. So my 45-degree angle is right in the middle. It bisects this angle here. So I'm going to draw a line that goes right through the middle of this thing like this. Oops, wrong one. Where this part is 90 degrees, and then this part right here is 45, but together it's 135. Also, we're asked to label these things, so this is the initial side, and this is the terminal side. Oops, I gotta learn how to spell terminal. My hand is not cooperating. Actually, it's my tablet. When do you think I'll calibrate my tablet? I complain about it every day. I'm thinking November, probably around Thanksgiving break. Any questions on this?